Right, good morning, and apologies if I am running a little bit late. I've been having a bit of a play and trying a new setup, so we're going to be trying something a little bit new this morning. So apologies if there's any jips. You will notice at the top of the broadcast that it says about joining up with StreamYard if you want to put comments. Now, the reason for doing that is because StreamYard, the system I am using, pops all the comments up on my screen. But unless you've actually signed up, it doesn't give me a name. So it will just put Facebook user or YouTube user, because yes, the exciting thing is, if it's all going well, we are currently live on both my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. So that's very exciting. So if you do want to comment and you want me to see your name, then just click that button to allow StreamYard to access your details. If you'd rather not do that, then if you do pop a comment in, just let me know it's you. Say hello, you know, whoever, Beryl, and then comment, or Jackie and then comment. But as I say, or you can allow StreamYard to do that for you. So we will see if that works. It's all, as I say, something new. It's all going to be a bit of trial and error, and we will see how we go. But hopefully this means that we're going to be able to go live onto Facebook and to YouTube at the same time, and you can choose which is your preferred viewing platform. So as I say, it's going to be trial and error. There might be quirky things with sounds and things. If you pick up anything your end, I can hear a slight echo here. I'm hoping that you're not picking that up as well. If you are, let me know. I will continue to play with the buttons and the settings, and hopefully we'll get there in the end. So who am I? It tells you on the screen. Hi, Caroline. Oh, and you're onto YouTube. Fab. It's exciting. So it does tell me here. So it tells me that Caroline is joining me from Facebook. It'll tell me if you're commenting from YouTube. And it will save me a little bit of a job, because it'll save me uploading it to YouTube later today. So, as I say, welcome. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. And eventually I'll probably, hopefully, get a bit tidier behind me as well. You never know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this button just here, and hopefully that will take us, she says. I told you it's going to be trial and error this morning. There we go. That's going to take us to my down-facing camera. So there we are. That's me, Love-a-Duckie. But what are we going to be playing with today? So we're going to have a bit of a play with the Expressions in Ink suite from the annual catalogue. As yet, I haven't, as you can see, touched my stamps. So we're going to be playing with those together this morning, and the papers and all the beautifulness that is this suite. So the Expressions in Ink suite, it was created using an alcohol ink type technique. We now have the dogs down the road joining us. That might have made the sound a bit quirky. Morning, Anita. Morning, Hannah. They're singing to you. I'm not sure what the number is. It's top 10. So the Expressions in Ink was created with alcohol ink techniques, and it is just, the papers and things are stunningly beautiful, and they are a specialty paper because they do have foiling and things in, and we'll have a look at those at the moment. So this is the stamp set. It is a red rubber stamp set, so that does mean that there are, you know, you can use heat techniques and things with those that you can't with the photopolymer. And you can see the sort of idea of the alcohol inks on there as well. If you've ever done any crafting with alcohol inks, you can see those general ideas there, and there's sort of all those florals and leaves, some nice quite big greetings, which is lovely. And then you've got the die set, and the die does give you the dies that will cut out your images there, but it also gives you And as you can see, I've not even peeled these off the backing yet. You do get this beautiful big die here that gives lots of detail, and you get this gorgeous sort of leaf die, a detailed leaf die. So really beautiful, big. Everything is big and bold in this set. Then you have your papers, as I say, and they are sort of these alcohol ink backgrounds, and then you can see that foiling on there. It's just beautiful. This one is just lovely. It's fabulous background. So these are the foiled side. Look at that one. Seen lots of really lovely cards made with that, just by cutting that into panels and adding a bit of stamping and things in the middle. It doesn't take a lot to make that into a beautiful card. This one again here, you've just got the sort of white space around the outside and this beautiful swirl of loveliness down the middle, and then you've got these sort of pale papaya flowers. Again, you've got that foiling on there, just lovely. And then you've got a stripe, so a gold foil stripe, and if we flick it over, you can again see sort of like the bubbling effect of that alcohol ink type effect, where all those colours have smooshed together. And that one is just down the centre. There's a really floral paper there. And this one again is that swoosh down the centre. So the papers are just stunning. They are beautiful. And then we have this little pack here. And in this little pack, you've got some sequins there, some iridescent self-adhesive, that's the word I'm looking for, sequins. And then you get these bits just here, and if I pop them over, you can see, so they're white on this side. If you should want to use them just as white, pop them over, and you've got this gold foiling, leaves and frames. You've got 1, 2, they've all got tissue in between them, 3, 4, 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So obviously when you finished using all those up, you can then use your tissue paper for something as well. So those are just beautiful little embellishments to go with them. So that is what you get in the Expressions in Ink suite. So let's move this out of the way. So I've gone along here, and you can see that they give you the colour palette for those colours in the papers. I have grabbed those ink pads out. That doesn't mean that we won't go off piste and use something a bit different, but that's our starting point. But let's get out these stamps. Now, where shall we start? I've got this really big sort of splodgy flower, for want of another description. And let's make sure we've got that the right way around. So I'm looking at this, and this bit of the flower here has got like that sticky out thin pointy bit on that flower, and that's matching the same there. Excuse my head if that happens to be in your way. Let's pop that on there and lift that one off. And then we have this rose type flower, a rose by any other name. And again, this is sort of got like a jaggly edge up here, which is reflected just there. We have some leaves. Might not do all of these. We'll perhaps just come on and do any other bits that we want as we want them. I will do the big splodgy bit. So obviously this would give you sort of that alcohol ink effect wherever you wanted it. Just get rid of these bits. I'm going to pop those back in there for now. And let's find a bit of Whisper White card. And we'll just cut ourselves. I'm going to go 13.9 by 9.5, so that's the second size mat. We may change our mind, we may trim that down. Who knows? See, this is how you do stamps, isn't it? Popping your trimmer on sticky. Now, I think I'm going to take, excuse me, flicking through the colours just here. I'm going to go with some Pear Pizzazz. What I've been doing with this ink block, I've just pulled out an ink block from my case that used to come out on classes and things with me. Obviously, it hasn't been out of the, I could say blocks, hasn't been out of the blocks for a long time. Hi, Jane. It's got rather a lot of pink ink on it. And let's just lose some of the pink ink. Because we don't want pink ink, we want green ink. I think it must be alcohol marker or something, because it's still there. We'll give that a bit of a scrub later. Right, I'm going to ink up this swirly bit. Let's see what happens with that. Ooh, it's fun, isn't it? And ink it up again. And I'm going to join it up here, I think. And bring it all the way across the centre. Let's bring in our stamping scrub. Give that a bit of a clean. And I'm going to take this little rose and I'm going to come polished pink and pale papaya. Oh, that's rather beautiful, isn't it? We'll do 2 polished pinks. Give that a bit of a clean. And I'll come in with a pale papaya, but I'm going to do another rose. They are just beautiful. The detail in those stamps, it's just lovely because it doesn't go to white in these gaps. It sort of fades to a paler pink or pale papaya, depending on which stamp. Let's have some leaves. Got a couple of greens here. I think I'm going to go just jade. And we'll do 3 of those again. And again, you've got that sort of multi-tonal effect on that stamp with no effort from me whatsoever. Just pop on the ink, throw it on the card. We are going to go in with we'll come in with this little one just here, I think. And add the label to it a bit later. Let's just stamp a couple of those. Right. Where have I put the dies? Here they are. So we're going to need this one, and this one. And again, you've got sort of the jaggly bit on the dies. It's going to line up with the jaggly bit on the flower just there. The leaves are obviously fairly self-explanatory. Hi Lee, oh, you're on quarantine prison now. Well, I'm glad that we could be here to entertain you. Hope you won't be too much longer stuck in quarantine prison, and that they're looking after you well. Do you need us to send supplies? That's the question. Do you need crafty supplies? Right, let's put that top layer on. Nobody breathe. Run that through the machine behind me. So there's one little rose, one leaf, one die on the floor, one little bud. Let's have a pink rose. More leaves. And another bud. Good old Jackie. This is the old, as we say. So we have a pink rose, Another set of leaves, another bud, and one more rose, and one more set of leaves. How pretty are they looking already? Almost canal art, sort of folk artish, aren't they? Last but not least, another rose and a set of leaves. Die thing back there, so let's pop those in there just so that they don't get knocked onto the floor. Right, so we have our Pear Pizzazz background just there. And we have some of these roses. Let's add in some leaves. It's rather pretty. Now pop out gently easing it so it doesn't break. Let's bring some of these pieces. Okay, and see all of these little pieces we could use for other things, but let's see if I can just, do need to be gentle. They are very delicate. It's rather pretty, isn't it? I think we're going to have one of those going on behind our flowers. In here, and obviously we'll arrange our flowers accordingly so that the gold sticks out and just gives, you know, not massive show of gold behind it. It's just a little delicate flash. Something like that. I think we'll have that coming underneath the gold. This one going over. I think we'll have this one coming under as well. So that gold is sort of coming across the top of those leaves. Let's find somewhere for these so we don't lose those. I actually also take this this centerpiece. Obviously haven't stuck those down yet. We'll add some of these in a moment. We'll have a bit of a just jade background. I think we will stick with Oh. Yes, let's take that out. We'll have Pear Pizzazz and Just Jade. That's the one. Hi Angie. So for those of you that are joining me, we are having a bit of a play with something new today. So I am currently live on both YouTube and Facebook, hopefully. Which is very exciting. So wherever happens to be your preferred viewing platform. Right, so that's our Just Jade card base. So let's just cut this to 14.4 by 10 or whatever your first size mat is. And so I'm looking everywhere for the piece of Whisper White. It's behind me. I'm going to cut that to 9.5 by 13.9, and that will be our inside piece. Let's just decorate our inside piece. I think we'll take a bit of this sort of swooshy I'm just going to tuck it across this bottom. Some polished pink. And last but not least, once I've cleaned and got my stamp, let's add in Just Jade leaves. Right, that's ready to go inside. So let's find some glue. Let's stick this bit inside. That's nice and easy. Very pretty. Let's stick this bit to our Pear Pizzazz mat. Thank you, Julie. Julie said that she thought its card is so pretty. I have to say they are very simple to just add in. Now then, we're going to want to lift this slightly to add some of those leaves and things underneath, but it's not heavy, so it's not going to require a lot of ink. Ooh, a lot of ink, a lot of glue to hold it in place. And let's just pop that down. Now I have glue on my fingers. Let's add those to the back of the flowers. Waste not, want not. To put one pink flower there. actually, I think we will add dimensionals to these ones and have the other one coming here. This one tucked in there. Let's put some glue on this leaf, and we're going to have that going underneath our gold piece and underneath the second gold piece, please. Thank you. A bit of a dimensional underneath that one. This one again will have some glue underneath, and let's have that coming again underneath the gold just here. Coming underneath just there, and then we've got these little gold pieces. And I think we'll have that coming down there. I'm just going to take the hello, I think. And I think we'll go just jade with that as well. Let's just add in some of these for good measure, if I can find where we open them. Just there. So these are just little self-adhesive sequins. You just find some manner of pokey thing. Let's just put a few of those on as well. So there we are. We've got blingy gold, little sparkly sequins, and then when we open it up, we've got our insert as well. And obviously we could do a similar thing on the flap on the envelope. So very pretty. So there's one. Let's have a look at some of this background paper, because it just is too scrummy not to use. Now, I don't think we're going to go with a floral, and as much as I love that one, I don't think I want that one. This one's really pretty. That one is absolutely delightfully scrummy. More flowers, and then the gold stripe. I think I'm going to take this one just here. just is beautiful. Now, decisions. I'm going to come this side, I think, with the jade. I'm going to cut a strip that is 9.5 centimeters wide. I'm actually going to cut this in half, so that's going to be 6 inches. And then let's make this 13.9. So there we have a front panel for our card. Just beautiful. It's already 14.4. Let's make it 10. There's beautiful paper on the floor, Helen. It's almost like you don't need to do very much more with it, do you? It's there. It's stunning. But we will have a little bit of a play. Let's have a look at this big flower. Let's have a play with that and see what that does. I'll take my D size block for that one. And now do we go really bold with pink? Do we keep it fairly toned down with yellow? Let's come in with pale papaya. We can always change our mind. Ladies' prerogative. Right, so tap, tap, tap. Let's ink that up. Just a wonderful splodge, isn't it? Now, I'm just thinking. Let's bring the pale pizzazz. Bring a bit of a pear pizzazz flower centre. I'm going to come in with some shaded spruce, which is one of the other colours in here. And we'll use that for some leaves. Yep, I'll leave it at that for a minute. It's all right, I'm thinking out loud. Can you hear the brain ticking? The big flower, little flower centre, and those leaves. You will find my host code if you are here in the UK and fancy buying any of these things. You'll be able to go to my online store and use the host code. Got lots of pinging going on my computer, just trying to get rid of pop-up bits on the side so I can see your comments. Thank you, Julianne. Right, so let's line that one up. We don't actually even need this little bit because it's part of our bigger bit. Are we going to get that in there without overlapping one die cutting into the other? I think so, just about. Oh. We had a wiggle in transit. Run these little leaves through. Right, just going to grab this long leaf die just here and some gold foil. Just trim, I'm going to trim round the foil so that it's I'm not putting any more than necessary through the machine, because you do get some marks occasionally in plates and things on your foil, so you don't want to mark any more foil than is necessary. Just lifting this off, and some of those inner bits are pinging out. How beautiful is that? Now, I don't know that we're going to need all of this on this particular project, but it is a beautiful die cut. Would obviously be beautiful as well in card or designer series paper. You could use one of those sort of multi-tonal greens out of the set. Let's just get rid of some of these little bits to one side. Right, now to decide how much of that I want. I've now lent on something green. Went away from my Facebook Live on Friday with an orange blob. I've now got a green mark on my arm. I don't know if that you. Yes, there we go. Look, I've obviously lent on the, I think possibly the corner of this with some ink on. I'm just going to snip that bit off there, because then you've got a perfectly good little set of leaves there for another project, so we shan't lose those. I'm not going to waste good foil. I think he might come in with some the pale papaya ribbon on there. Take my ribbon scissors and give that a snip. And then we'll want one of these greetings. We've got a happy birthday there, we've got a best wishes, we've got a thanks. Take the happy birthday. Should be big enough. And we shall want let's come with this block just here, and one that we seem to have managed to stain pink temporarily, and some mark and gold embossing powder. Let's emboss this in gold. I'm going to just give my bit of cardstock a wipe there. Ink this up. Oh, too much of a flick there. I'll get a little paint brush. Just brush off that excess powder. Quick burst with my heat gun. Sorry, I haven't moved one of my heat guns across, so I have to move across the other side of the room to give that a blast. So let's give that. I'm just going to find my big scissors, just because these ones aren't stamping up. You can use your trimmer, whatever works for you. I just find bigger scissors easier if I am trying to cut something by eye. And to snip that in half so we have a happy and a birthday. Right. Now let's take our gold foil leaves and we'll just put some little spots. So of course we could have used some of the leaves and things from our pack. press that down. What I'll quite often do with something like that is take a block and just give that a press down with a block. Let's come in with our flower. We'll put some dimensionals on the back of there. Now, got these leaves. Pop a dimensional on the back there as well, just to raise it up off the paper in the background. Oh, I didn't put my swirl of ribbon in there, did I? Let's see if we can lift up our flower. And a little bit of tear and tape. And I'll just anchor that down in the middle there. And then pop our flower back. Let's stick this down. This is really one of those paper packs that you don't want to stick either side down. You just need to discover some projects where you can show both sides of the paper. And just spot the landlocked bit just there. And we've got our happy birthday. Let's have a little just come in with a glue dot for the end of this greeting that hasn't got any. So that will just hold that down there and hold that down on that leaf just there. Let's bring in a few little gilded gems on this one. And I think we'll go shaded spruce. And let's cut that piece of card in half. Let's score it in half. And let's find a little piece of, I think my postman's just been and dropped something through the front door. He's been coming to us so many years that if he's got a parcel or anything, he'll just open the front door and just pop it just inside. And that's fine. That saved me running from the video, didn't it? That can go inside. We'll bring some more pale papaya. Insert a little inner flower bit with hair pizzazz. And then I'll say I'll add in some just shaded spruce leaves. I've buried them. Let's just add those in like that. Dimensional backs, they get everywhere, don't they? Right. So we've used a good selection of those stamps. We've still got lots more to play with in terms of dies. We didn't get to play with that really big die, but so there's that one with that big flower and some die cut gold foil, sort of picking up that foil detail in the background in the paper. And then this one we did our swooshy alcohol ink background there, and we've used some of those bits and pieces from that lovely little pack alongside those roses. So there's a couple of cards using that beautiful sweet. As I say, there's lots more that we haven't yet played with, so lots more to play there with another day. So I hope you've enjoyed joining me. I hope that you've everything's been okay. Do feedback if sound's not been okay or there's been anything that hasn't been quite right, because as I say, we're using a new system, so we do have to play around with these things, find what works, find what doesn't work. Yeah, but good fun. So thank you everybody, and I will be back later in the week to join you again, and have a really good week.